today, please make sure you sign in. If you haven't already, just hit the attendance sheet on the way out the door. All right, it is April 8th, and we've got a really busy week going on across SUNY Erie. All right, we just finished our midterm exams and grades and all that good stuff. We got open houses happening this week between the 3 campuses, and then spring break next week. We have registration events going on all 3 campuses coming up at the end of the month, and then all of a sudden it's going to be graduation. So it's full steam ahead for all of us here at SUNY Erie for the spring 2025 semester. I always, during this week, I have already started harassing students to make sure that they are registered for the fall before spring break, making sure that they all applied for graduation. And again, remembering that it is a 2-step process. The students, once they apply, there is a little bit of a thing they have to fill out on a work day, a little bit of a survey, and that they have to complete both in order to be considered completed for their graduation application, right? So all those things, we're reminding students before the spring break, and then I always like to remind them that there's still school after the spring break, right? That, I know, right? We're not off after Friday until September, but like don't extend it. It's like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and it's, and then we're done, right? It's the end of the line for the semester. So I'm always like, so don't forget, classes begin again on April 20th. Come back. Because then it's, like 3-ish weeks, and then they graduate, or we got them coming back for the fall, and we won't really see them over the summer. So, so with that, I know that some people have to get to City Campus for the open house later today. So I'm going to just kind of end my report with that. It's sunny, it's freezing. My memories on my phone reminded me that in 2021, granted it was post-COVID, we weren't in person yet, it was 83 degrees in Buffalo. It was warmer here than it was in Florida, because I knew people that went away for spring break, and I have pictures that I brought my kids to Hamburg Beach before it was even cleared out with all the debris and everything, because it was nice and warm. So I'm going to take those vibes from 4 years ago and hope that that comes to us next week when we're on spring break, so that we get more than just sunshine. We get some warmth along with it, instead of just pretending that it's warm from inside cozy windows. So attendance again is out. Please fill it out. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Sagai and the President's report. It's going to be interactive, so.
That's right. I know I look a little bit shorter because I have to wear this. So let me just give you a little bit of perspective on this one. Number one, today was our listening session with our students. So thank you for all of you that participated to make sure that our students were there. It was very live and robust. Thank you. And robust on that. So the president of Buff State, Dr. Bonnie, wears sneakers a lot. And what color do you think she wears? Orange, right? Representing the school. And so she said, you don't have red sneakers. I said, no, I don't have a red sneakers, but I have a lot of red outfit. And so for the inauguration, she decided, I don't know how she did this, I think it's Gail, found out the size of my shoes, right? And got me the Chucks as a press. So I know, isn't that what? I know I was just talking to Colleen. I need a little bit of a heel, so I think Colleen is going to hook me up with Chucks that have heel and sparkle, is what you said? All right,
I have a red pair that are platform and have sequins on them, because I refuse to have anything that does not sparkle.
So, but it's been an interesting day. It was really comfortable today. So, but that's the reason why I have this. And then the other thing, who is on the Auxiliary Services Board? All right, so that's the other thing I'm doing. I am marketing for you guys for the bookstore, so we could get maybe some discount. But that's part of the other thing, too, is that we got a lot of things in the bookstore. I know that's one of the things I heard from the listening session from our students about making sure that they're consistent across our location. There seems to be more in one site versus another, and so our students want this. So they really want to do this. So, Kristen, I am doing this marketing for the bookstore so we could get some discount for us. So I know I ask this all the time, and I thought, okay, how can we do this a little bit different in terms of some of the reports that I want to sort of highlight, given that we do have a short period of time. So with that, I'm going to have my team over here, or our team, help us with questions, and the idea is that, and we got prizes. Where's Bob? We got prizes, some real ones, too. Is that, you know, if you answer the question right, we have that. And this stuff you should know because we've been talking about this. So, Colleen, the first question is?
How many SUNY Erie students are registered for fall 2025 as of Friday, April 4th?
One.
Don't all raise your hands.
So, how many? Total students registered. Total students registered. Wait, you done one. What? 1123. Is that? Yes, that's the answer. Thank you. So what does he win? So a gift certificate to our lovely restaurant. All right, another question.
All right, I'm going to read the next question with a friendly reminder that if you want to talk, you have to talk into the microphone because the stream does not pick up your voice no matter how well you project it unless you talk into the microphone. How many SUNY Erie athletic teams do we have?
Is Steve Mullen here? He doesn't count. How many? 11? Nope. Good guess, though.
37.
Nope. Halfway, so, nope. Nope. Angelica, nope. She tried to do the
She gave a
numbers.
hint. She said I was halfway there.
Yep.
Come on, there's at least one other math person here. What's 37 times 2?
15. Colleen.
All right, so Colleen Ongst is the winner, chicken dinner.
What did she get? Wait. Look what you get. Please read that out loud. Read that.
SUNY Erie Automotive gift certificate valid for a free multi-point vehicle inspection, tire rotation, and a 4-wheel computerized alignment.
That's all at our college. Come on now. Come on. Right? All right. See? All right.
What was the title/theme of College Day, March 28th?
Oh, they're all Googling or trying to get into the email. That's all right. Come on. All of us were there.
All right, Jen.
Nope.
Nope. Oh.
Nope. The theme, right? The one that was on the actual agenda. Nope.
Linda?
Linda?
Collaboration and innovation?
Nope. I like all this. I like all of them, though. Yes? Okay, what else? Absolutely. And then, what else? Go ahead. That's okay. You Thank you. One more.
What are the SUNY Erie sports teams? Colleen Ongst, you were ineligible.
So there's 15. But let me just think, as people are thinking about that. Think about that, right? We have 15. That's pretty good for community college, right?
But we did not, all of us know this, and I didn't always know this, so, and we are getting more and making sure that the college community know all the games. Our students need our support, and a lot of our students in sport, they're not from this area. So if we go and attend, and I know some of us have attended football, but there's a lot, right? But I think it's important for us to know what we have. And part of what this whole sort of activity is to see the things that we have. And sometimes we look for outside, right? But we got a lot of good things that are happening at our college that we're not aware of. So what do you think those 15 sports are? Any? Okay, one of them. There's 15, huh? Volleyball, yep. Well, huh? So
Swimming and
Amy
diving.
probably had the closest. Is that fair? Should we give it to Amy? Okay, Amy. And I know you love to eat at the restaurant. One more.
How many SUNY Erie students have applied to graduate in May 2025?
And Andy is not part of this. No, Andy, you're not no, because we got that from him. And we talked about this one. Now I'm not talking about students that are projected to graduate. I'm talking about who apply. Because remember, we had this last Senate meeting. We did a reminder that I think it was April 1st that they needed, right, Andy? By April 1st that they needed to apply, because that matters. So how many students do you think apply to, for graduation? Yeah, you count, except for Andy.
Maybe 670?
Okay, close. What do you think, Andy? Not, I didn't tell the number. She about close, right? A little bit? 671? No.
That was
not yet.
Jeremy, 671.
It's like, yes. No? Others? Higher. Let me just say this. Who? 800? Not quite. Getting there. A little bit. Yeah, no, you're all right. But keep moving. Right there, somewhere in the middle. 801. We're not going down. We're going up.
975.
No, Colleen, bring it back.
All right.
A little bit. 850. Who said 850? Yep, 850. And where did you get the sweatshirt? Yeah.
All right, one more question. What is our total registration goal for fall 2025? 1 million.
I love it.
Linda.
5677?
No. Paul.
Paul, you saw the answer key, you cheater.
So what is Paul getting? Oh, auto tag. That's awesome. So I want to thank our restaurant, Lovely Restaurant, for giving us the gift certificate. Thank you. And then our auto tag, right? They're awesome too. So thank you for that. And then did we get that donated too? The sweatshirt, and who is that from? Orientation. So thank you to Amy Yoder and her team for that as well. Anything else on that? So really the point of all of that was really for us to know information. So the registration, that is happening every week. We send that out on Monday morning. That is the plan, is that would be the first thing that we want to send out to the college community, so you know. And it really speaks very simple, right? Is that how many continuing students have we registered to date? How many do we have in our pool? And what is the projected grad, right? So we could always see who has not registered by a number. And I understand there are some things in terms of some students are, not here, but a lot of students are here. So to Colleen's point, right, the sooner we register our students, and what is our goal for our students? What's our timeline for continuing students? ideally before the spring break, right? That's number one. Number two, though, is to make sure that they register before they leave for the summer break. And I told them this earlier when I was talking to the student, is that life happens and our students are very busy. They have all good intention to register to come back. But if we could just remind them and making sure that they're taking care of their business. Number one, financial aid is one thing that sometimes our students have not done or haven't taken care of. That may be an issue. So direct them to Katie and her team in terms of getting their financial aid taken care of. Really, that's the biggest one. And then obviously making sure that they're attending and doing what they need to do in the classroom. So that is our biggest thing that really, if there's anything I want you to take out of today, is that how do we make sure that our students are registered and being successful. And these are just some of the things that I just thought I'd share with you. We share a lot of, and we're doing a lot of pictures. Where's Courtney? Is Courtney here? Angelica? Yeah, is Courtney here? I know, but Courtney is our newer staff that's here, that's going around taking pictures. And there's other Aaron and Jerome and Angelica that are really out and just making sure that they're taking and capturing the moments, right? We have a lot of good moments, and it's hard sometimes because a lot of times we're busy and doing things, right? But we have so many things to celebrate about, both what we're doing internally as well as externally. So this is just some of the things that we have been doing as a college. Our students, our faculty, our staff, and myself, and our board members that have been participating. Is that next slide? Yep. So these are some of the things that we've been engaged in. There's more, and so the hope is for us to send that out regularly so that we could share a lot of the things that we're doing as a college. So with that, thank you so much. Colleen?
Thank you, Dr. Sagai. Does anyone have questions for Dr. Sagai before we let her sit down? Kristen, you got to go to the mic. Thank you.
Can we have an answer about the SUNY swag? We used to have financial aid be able to cover a portion when the students would go in the bookstore and buy SUNY area logoing clothes, and that's been an issue that's been brought up on the ASC board, that the sales have plummeted with ECC swag because the students no longer can use any part of their financial aid. And we didn't know if that was an internal decision or a SUNY decision. And we had our lawyer look into it, and they didn't find something SUNY-wide. So we just were hoping that we could get some answers about that.
Sure. So we'll work with Katie and Eric to figure out what that means. This is really the first time. I've heard bits and pieces, but this is the first time. So we'll look into that to make sure that they're able to do that. The other thing, we have other opportunities. Jenna is here. Thank you, Jenna, from our foundation. That's something that myself and Eric are working with Jenna on, some different ways that we could fund some of these different things that are really important to the college, because part of it is identity, right? And that's one of the reasons why I thought having the question about the sport, right? We're a commuter school, and so part of it is to create some identity, and I know our students are very busy, and so are we, but that's one way to do it. So making sure that you have an attire that identify you with the school, it creates some type of, community, and so that's something that we will also work with our foundation to see if there's an opportunity for them to also help us to fund some of this thing, but we will look into the financial aid portion of it. You're welcome. Great. Anybody else? And certainly I'm here, so if there's any other questions later, I'll be here too.
I'm just going to add to the swag. I know that faculty and staff do get some sort of discount at the bookstore. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I took a tour of some of the things that I wasn't familiar with City Campus recently, because I'm teaching classes there this semester, and I stopped into the bookstore, and the bookstore employee let me know that faculty and staff get a discount at the bookstore for swag. So I'm not entirely sure exactly how much that is, but that's something to note. I also wanted to point out, I saw on here the National Guard Student Deployment Assistance. We talked about it at the last Senate meeting, and I know Dean's of Students Office and Dan Frontera's VA office was part of it, along with the President's Office. I had an appointment like a week ago, and one of the people that was checking me in and all that, you do the conversations like, oh, where do you work, things like that. Oh, I teach at ECC. And she said, my fiance is currently deployed with the National Guard, and he is a student at SUNY Erie, and he got a care package, and it was just amazing. And so I just wanted to bring it up. So people are talking about it out in the wild, right? I was just a random person at, the doctor's office, whatever, and she was just couldn't say enough about how much that care package just brightened up their days and things like that. So it has a larger impact sometimes more than we know. So there's just that real quick. All right, to the agenda. The approval of the minutes from March. So the March minutes have been up on the College Senate site for almost a month because Mary Ertel's the best and super efficient. Can I have a motion to approve the March College Senate minutes? Jason Perry, thank you. A second. Derek Bateman, thank you. Are there any questions or comments about the minutes from the March College Senate meeting? Any objections? All right, we are going to approve those by consent. Thank you very much. Old business, some governance items. Michael Rio.
Thank you. Governance is reporting election results and announcing upcoming elections. There was a election at City Campus Liberal Arts. We have election results to report. Sabrina Kane, Derek Bateman, and Ashley Haynowski are the new representatives or continuing representatives for City Campus Liberal Arts. So welcome back.
And thank you for your service and congratulations.
Yeah, all that great stuff. So those terms start June 1st, so everyone that's here now stays here, until the 31st of May. But there's another set of elections coming up between now and May. The at-large seats, there are 5. They are all open. So anyone that's serving as an at-large representative should be considering self-nomination, and anyone that's interested in serving as at-large or ran in an earlier election should consider asking for a nomination or self-nominating. So anyone can nominate anyone for this area of representation. Just make sure that you reach out to the person that you're nominating, send an email to senategovernance@ecc.edu, and copy that person and get their, that they accept the nomination. Those elections.
And Michael, just to
go
clarify,
ahead.
for at-large, it could be anyone who is an employee
Correct.
of the college.
Yes. So that will open after this meeting on, let's see what the dates are. April 20, March, where are we here?
April 8th.
It's April, yeah. And then the deadline is the 25th of April because there's a week off in between. So that kind of fits into our bylaws guidance for that election. And then the election will happen after nominations come in. The election will open on the 28th of April and close on May 2nd so that we can report those results at the May Senate meeting. We are also calling for nominations for voting liaisons and officers, chair and vice chair. Those nominations are open as of today, can be sent to senategovernance@ecc.edu, or nominations can be made from the floor of the Senate at the May meeting, at which time we'll have a vote by electronic ballot. Questions?
Great. Anyone have questions for Michael with governance? All right, moving right along. Academic Standards Committee, Amy Yoder couldn't be here as the chair. I am the co-chair, so I will report on it. We're kind of at a stalemate right now. We're waiting for some information before we can move forward with some of the different items that we've talked about over the last few months with academic policies and like academic freedom, academic integrity, AI, all of those things. So we're kind of in a holding pattern right now, and hopefully we'll have more to report at the May meeting. Strategic Enrollment Management, Erickson, I know he's not here. Does anyone have anything to add for enrollment management? Okay, at the time, at last month, we just left it on there for old business. Open house is obviously this week. City Campus today. South Campus tomorrow, North Campus on Thursday, and then there's an advisement registration event April 30th across the 3 campuses. Does anyone have any additional information or questions? Amber?
So I know I brought this question up a couple of meetings ago, but the South Campus Open House is tomorrow. Do we have any guidance yet as to what we're supposed to be telling incoming students and parents about our location?
Yes, in terms of what program that we will be offering, yes. So we're certainly free to do that, but let me make sure you get some talking points. One of the things that, is this on? Is it?
Is the light
It's
on?
the light is on. I'm just making sure everyone can hear me. We'll do some talking points, but we're working on a marketing now that, remember Kathy presented about us getting approval for that. So I think we're in the process of putting some document together so that not only for tomorrow, but also to start marketing our new location. So.
I know an email went out from facilities yesterday with some mock-ups of classrooms and colors and things like that. Everybody got it. Will there be copies and things like that at the open house for tomorrow so we can show parents and students?
Yeah, we want to work on that. That's the one from Correct is the vote from the college community. So I know we talked about it during the college day, but we didn't get a chance to relate that to our students. So that was another way to do that. But we will work on it. So really we want to package this nicely. And the other thing too is that I want to be clear that we will still be at our existing location in the fall. We're going to be 2 locations, right? An example is our architecture staying at our existing location. So I want to be clear as to what that means so that people don't think, okay, we're just moving to this new location and we won't be at the current location. So we'll put something together for all of you in the community.
Perfect. Academic Integrity Assessment and Teagle Planting Grant. I'm just going to put it all D, E, and F, and Dr. Sabrina Kane.
Okay, so there's no report for academic integrity. For Teagle, we submitted our proposal for the full implementation grant as of April 1st. So now we're just kind of waiting to hear back, and I believe that their committee is meeting mid-May, so we may not know by the next Senate meeting. Assessment. So I'm going to make a big play for assessment here today because the assessment committee has been kind of idling for a while. We do not want to be in the same situation with middle states as we were last time because every time we straighten it out and promise them everything is going to be good from here on in. Now, I want to take every senator in this room, every person in this room, for just a moment of reflection. Because assessment generally falls on your department chair. Now, sometimes there's an assessment person or assessment committee in your unit. So you may be here listening to me talk and thinking, but I don't really do assessment. Other people in my unit do assessment. But everyone in your unit should know what is happening with assessment. Because once those assessment results come back, people should be talking about them, people should be discussing them, people should be planning next steps. So if you're here and you don't know what's going on with assessment in your unit, you should ask. You should follow through on this, and you should ask, because it's not just all on that one special person in the unit. It's on all of us. It should touch all of us in some way, even if it's just handing over data from your class. But it should be something that we discuss and we think about and we make plans based on. So that's my message for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrina. Does anyone have questions for Sabrina on those 3 items? All righty, very good. We did touch upon the etiquette luncheon and professional clothing drive for students at the last meeting. Let's see. As a reminder, there's flyers around, but there's drop-off locations at all 3 campuses. We are accepting donations for the etiquette luncheon, professional attire, suits, ties, dresses, dress shoes, belts, etc., slacks, blouses, pencil shirts, skirts, blazers, through April 21st. So if anyone's maybe not going out of town and are going to be crossing their fingers for warm weather like myself next week, it's a good time to go through your closet and bring it in and drop it off after spring break. And then the luncheon itself will be Thursday, May 8th, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the North Campus cafeteria. All students are welcome. It's a free event, and there's QR codes again on the flyers around the school for students to register for the event. Does anyone have any other old business that I may have not included? Oh, Bob. He probably thought he was off the hook. Graduation 2025. So we did get an update as to how many students have applied so far for graduation. What else is new for graduation?
So keep an eye out for a couple different emails coming out very soon. One is inviting all faculty and staff to attend graduation, where I'll be sending that out, like I said, with the next day or two, looking for a quick return on it. Honestly, I purposely did it this way because if I send it out and give you 3 weeks to respond, you're not going to remember to do it. So we're going to do that. There's going to be another one coming out for volunteer help for commencement as well. I obviously have my usual suspects around the room here and throughout the rest of the college, but we definitely want you back. Other than that, students will be able to get their tickets and caps and gowns in the beginning of May, and we should be good to go.
Can you talk about our student speakers or what that process right now? Student speakers?
So what we're doing is we're going to be working with the deans and the faculty. We're looking for 2 student speakers to just talk at our commencement ceremony. We want them to submit an essay. We'll work with them on some of their public speaking skills. But we're going to go with what we did last year, where we actually interview them and basically go with who wants to do it, as opposed to just being the student trustee like it was for years. So we should have that very soon, and we do have our commencement speaker lined up, although I don't remember the name right now.
Ashley?
Where do students get their caps and gowns, in case a student asks? They should know.
Bookstores.
Have the students received the email to get that information?
Not yet, because we are waiting until the bookstore actually has everything in-house, because the second that email goes out, the students are going to go to the bookstore. Now, with that said, we are still working at South Campus. That will be in the ASC office at South itself, because obviously we don't have a bookstore there. And then our off-site locations, we'll work with them individually. Like I know I'm bringing some to Northland, we'll do West Her, and anywhere else that we have to get directly to them.
How many tickets do each student receive for graduation? And if it's a limited amount, is there a way to get more?
So it's going to be 3 tickets to start with. If students want more, we're going to have a wait list in the bookstores. And I can pretty much tell you there will be some extra tickets. But I just don't want to oversell the tickets to begin with.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions regarding graduation? All right. Thank you, Bob. New business, facilities report. Anything new, James?
No substantive updates for this month. Next month, once we kind of finalize all of the timelines and scheduling, I'll provide an update at that point.
Great. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Blackwell regarding facilities? Moving on, general education. Andy Heisey, I know he's got a bit.
A bit. I'll keep it short. First, for DEISJ, the General Education Committee has slowed its consideration of those courses. In this moment of uncertainty, we want to kind of wait and see. So if there is anybody who wants to put a course forward for that, give us a little bit of time. We want to make sure that we've got all the processes in place so that we're doing that the right way. We plan to open that back up, I think, next academic year. Following that, we've been making some updates to ILOs as only makes sense. Of course, things do continue to change. I will submit supporting documents for the May meeting. We're looking to take the current ILOs, which we did some tweaking to last year, and make an additional change basically, we look back at it and decided that the big change that we instituted at the end of academic year 23-24 was perhaps a little too big. So we're going to pull that back and make sure that we're in the proper alignment, mainly with the middle states requirements. Following that, let's see. I have the agenda again. I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. Thanks. I just want to make sure I'm going by this. One of those supporting documents will include the new rubrics that we're talking about. We'll be taking one rubric and splitting that into two, again, so that we are properly aligned with the necessary requirements for middle states. Finally, we have completed the 24-25 oral and written communication assessment. This was in two parts. One of those was a SUNY Erie assessment. One of those was a SUNY general education assessment. Generally speaking, all results were between excellent and satisfactory, which is, of course, a good thing. We split those results up into seated classes, online classes, and advanced studies classes. And like I said, all of those were in that general range. Seated classes, for the most part, were, like I said, right in the satisfactory range. Internet classes tended to be a little bit more the very good and the very bad, and generally speaking, advanced studies classes were all in the excellent range. Then for the Erie communication analysis, where there were 4 outcomes for SUNY, there was only 1 for us. And I think that largely as a result of the fact we were only looking at 1 of those, results were even more tightly packed, so to speak. We're looking at overall scores of pretty much satisfactory. And that's all I got.
Great. Does anyone have any questions for Andy with general education, new ILOs, et cetera?
It's interesting stuff.
It sure is. All right. Okay, you're good. Fact 2 AI survey. That's what I was, there it is. All right, so Fact 2 is the Faculty Advisory Council and Teaching and Technology Task Group on Generative AI in Action is exploring the use of AI tutoring platforms to enhance student learning and support faculty instruction. In doing so, the task group is conducting a survey to campuses in order to capture examples of current faculty who are already exploring AI tutoring solutions for their courses. There is a survey on the College Senate site. Kelly Nellis is screenshotting herself over here. Here we go. So here it is. There's a hyperlink right in here that SUNY is asking people to participate in. They're going to have the survey open through the end of the semester, but again, the end of the semester gets very busy. So if this is something that interests you, go ahead and take a look at it and fill that out to supply some information. Okay, and then the Faculty Council Spring Plenary was last weekend. Michael Rio.
Yeah, I can offer a brief report. It was this weekend, like a
Yeah,
day and a half ago.
A couple days ago.
Yeah, so all of the official documents from that meeting and resolutions coming from that meeting are not available yet, so we'll move that, I guess, to the May meeting. There is a resolution that we're going to look at today, and a couple comments I can make on items that we just looked at this meeting. The SUNY Online program offers a platform for AI tutoring out of SUNY Brockport that may launch, kind of go all over the place. So the Chancellor King was at the meeting for the Faculty Council and has made assurances that approaching AI platforms, tutoring or however they're going to be implemented, the college or the SUNY-wide commitments being made to protect academic freedom. So currently, the policy or the default de facto policy is that those AI decisions are going to be made at the course level, instructor level, and there's no policy from the top down as far as how AI will be used system-wide. And then diversity, equity, social justice, inclusion. SUNY is making a statement and kind of holding its ground on those values being a part of foundational principles and mission statement of SUNY. So there is not, a concern at this point to teach or not teach diversity and equity in the classrooms. And SUNY's got our back on that, 100%. Until next week and something changes. But so far, so good, right? So I think those are important. I think that's really important to note, right? We're not the enemy. All right. The resolution that we're looking at right now is coming from the Faculty Council. Similar resolutions are in process with Faculty Senate and CUNY, and it's just a recommendation or a reminder that the Department of Education matters and that there are some core programs that should be protected. And that includes Pell Grants, that includes protections for student civil rights, that includes a couple of other items that are in the resolves. And this is just, Faculty Council is asking for campus endorsements. So we are endorsing this resolution, and it will be forwarded to SUNY Central. It will be part of the documents with the trustees, and it will go out to representatives in Washington for New York State, and a letter is going to be attached to that asking for the work that needs to be done to keep the Department of Education working to maintain those programs or aspects of the Department of Education. So if there are any questions about the resolution, I think I'd like to introduce a motion to approve and then.
All right. So noted. Second, Tom Webb. Thank you. All right. So the resolution that we're asking for endorsement for is up before you right there. It's been posted on the Senate site for a little bit. The Faculty Council President and SUNY trustee Candace Vasson was at SUNY a couple weeks ago and met with various faculty and staff across the college. One of the main items that we did talk about was SUNY and New York State's commitment to DEI-SJ in education, that our governor and our chancellor are working hand in hand collaboratively to protect that in New York State. And that is central to what their main focus is for us. And with that, the various agencies across the state for education are also asking for endorsement of support for the Department of Education, saying different things that the Department of Education does for our students across the United States of America. A few of the things that are written here in the statements, I'll just highlight a couple. Whereas public higher education serves as a pillar of the public good, transforming individual lives while acting as an engine of economic development, a catalyst for sustainable communities, a foundation for democratic engagement, and a driver of innovation, creativity, and social mobility. Whereas the United States Department of Education is fundamental to the nation's economic vitality and democratic integrity, fostering workforce development, innovation, and civic engagement while ensuring that higher education remains accessible and affordable to all. Whereas the executive branch of the United States lacks the unilateral authority to dismantle or abolish the Department of Education without congressional action, safeguarding against executive overreach, and preserving the integrity of the legislative process. Whereas any effort to diminish or dismantle the Department of Education would severely undermine the federal government's ability to support public higher education, enforce civil rights protections, and uphold educational equity nationwide. So those are some of the reasoning why. And so SUNY Faculty Council is calling upon the United States Congress to uphold its constitutional duty to serve the public interest by protecting and sustaining the Department of Education and its essential programs. There's obviously other items on here. Just wanted to highlight a few. Does anyone have any questions or comments about this resolution? Are there any objections to the motion to endorse this resolution? Okay, seeing there are no objections, the motion is approved to endorse. So we will send this back to Faculty Council of Community Colleges and add SUNY Erie to the list of two-year institutions across New York State that are in support of this and thus in support of the Department of Education. So thank you. That is the last item on new business. Is there any other new business items that need to be added? Yep, Lisa?
It might also be, should have been an old business, but wrapping up the employee engagement survey, I did want to acknowledge and thank everyone for participation. That closed last Friday with fantastic participation rates. We had 61% of our full-time employees participate in the survey, 22% of our part-time, which resulted in a 45% overall participation rate. And just as a reminder, we had introduced it at the last Senate meeting that, the expectation is that this is an opportunity for a baseline understanding of employee engagement with the potential for us to identify those opportunities to develop action planning and moving forward. As a reminder, this was an external vendor that facilitated the survey. So we do anticipate and working across the college to get those results in maybe 6 to 8 weeks. So we would look to have a full report on that, hopefully on opening day, if we don't make it prior to the close of the spring semester. So we're excited to see those results, and again, thank everyone for their participation.
Great, thank you, Lisa. Does anyone have any questions regarding the survey or any of those items? Okay, great. Anything else for new business? All right, so with that, I'm going to close the meeting that is the public portion. The next College Senate meeting is May 13th, which is it's quite literally the end of the semester, right around there. So May 13th will be the last College Senate meeting of the 24-25 academic calendar year. There is a meeting in June that will start up the 25-26 academic year as well. So with that, if you are going away for spring break next week, have lots of fun, bring some sunshine back with you. If you are staying home, have a nice relaxing time as well, and try not to be stuck cleaning your house or any of those things the entire time. And then we'll see everybody in May.